Today we're talking about Fiesta Texas. What do you think about the park and the rides? We had high expectations because everyone says that it might be the best Six Flags park.
I really like Fiesta Texas. I thought it was brilliant. There was parts of it I thought was better than a lot of other Six Flags parks, and I think it's because the quarry wall really helped. So it's built inside a quarry, which was really good. So I loved that, and I loved the way the rides interacted with it. But I also felt like they kind of cared more, and you can see that in this theming, the atmosphere, the way they look after their rides.
The way they get another train for everyone.
Yeah. One of our critiques about Fiesta Texas was that Rattler was running on single train ops because the second train had to go in maintenance for the winter season because, of course, it was December when we went. So it had quite long queues. But now they're always going to be operating with two trains.
I really love the park. I think that it has a good layout. I think what you said about the quarry is the key for me, for the park to outstand of other Six Flags parks. Rattler is the best ride in the park, by far. One of the best RMCs, in my opinion.
It's one of the best RMCs, in my opinion. And I think Rattler has the best first drop on nearly any coaster I've ever done. Going into that quarry wall.
Yeah, I love how Rattler goes into the quarry, and then when you can just see the whole park after the drop from the quarry, the night ride there, it's just one of the best that I have ever done. Like, it's just incredible. I wasn't expecting to be that good, and it just, I don't know, every ride that we've done on Rattler was just amazing. I think it's so high.
I think
so much higher than I was expecting.
I think one thing with Rattler was it was very short. And that was the only bit that I really had to critique it because I just wanted more because it was running so good. It's almost 2,000 foot shorter than the Rattler, which is amazing how much they've actually removed. And I just wanted it to keep going.
Superman also interacts in the quarry.
Yeah, I think it's
really
very
good
unique.
Superman.
Yeah, it's a very good, unique B&M Floorless coaster. It's gone near the top of my list of B&M Floorless coasters that I've done. I thought it's brilliant. Because it's a different layout because of the quarry. What was great about it as well is it had some shorter queues compared to the rest of the rides in the park because it's been a B&M. Capacity was fantastic. So when you compared it to Rattler or the other RMC, Wonderway. So what did you think of Wonder?
Was my first single rail.
We've just done Jersey Devil. I think I prefer Wonder Woman.
I also prefer Wonder Woman, but it's not by far.
No.
I don't think they're that different.
Wonder Woman felt like it had a bit of a rattle and a shake. It felt very different to Railblazer. Railblazer, it felt more intense, more throwing you around, but in a better way. Top tip is heading straight to Wonder Woman because that part of the park was so quiet in the mornings.
Yes.
Everyone ran to Rattler. Hour-long queues there. Wonder Woman, Superman, walk on.
Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, the B&M dive.
Yeah, so it's the first B&M dive with a 95-degree drop. So past vertical, but I didn't really notice it was past vertical.
No, I couldn't feel that on the drop. To be honest, the whole ride was like, the drop was okay, the rest of the ride was okay. I like how they had onboard audio. It's a really good, like, teaming for a Six Flags park. So they have teaming on the queue, they have kind of like a pre-show.
Yeah, but that's when it stopped. There was no theming on the station.
Yeah, the station was dreadful.
Like, so, you did the pre-show and then you leave.
Yeah, because there is a queue indoors. There was like really nice photos on the wall about like a draw for the coaster. They had a pre-show. They had like this teaming of like a steampunk teaming.
Yeah, an evil woman type robots, weird stuff.
Yeah, then you leave the indoor part. There is a place for you to put your bags. And then you go to the station, which is
just
the
a tin shed.
Yeah, exactly. It's not good. But then you have like an onboard audio, which I thought that was so fun. When you were like about to drop, this woman starts screaming like...
Scream,
louder, scream!
You can hear it in a lot of places in the park as well.
Yes, in the park. When you get to the mid-course break, you had like more audio. And I think that kind of enhanced the experience on the coaster. So I do think that was cool. But the ride itself was just like it was a good dive coaster. Yeah. I feel like it.
Yeah, I think it was better than other dive coasters like Valkyria at Leesburg.
Yes, agree.
They have the tallest pendulum. It's more forceful than you were expecting.
Yeah, it was a lot more forceful. I was thinking normally what happens with the larger sort of pendulum rides, the bigger they are, the more they sacrifice on forces. But because this was so big, the speed you got as you swung through, that's what made that so impressive.
Yes.
And the queue was really good.
It has a team at queue. It's just really cool.
One of my favorite coasters in this park was Poltergeist. Like, this one had an amazing theming and it was so intense, so much better than I was expecting.
It was my first Premier Ride Spaghetti Bowl
Yeah,
coaster.
it was my first as well. I was
looking
really
forward to it.
intrigued to see how it was going to be.
I was so used to riding the Vekoma ones, like the one at Wallaby Holland, Express Platform 13, which is like rock and roller coaster but outdoors.
It has no comparison to that.
Yeah, it was so much better.
It's so forceful and I almost gray out on that. So we did all the 4 of them in the US. So the one in Kings Island, Kings Dominion, and Six Flags America. This one is the best by far. This one is the most forceful and has the best theming.
The theming was
and
amazing.
It's amazing. So it's themed as Poltergeist. So the queue is ridiculously good on the theming. You're like, first you have the outdoor part of the queue that is like on the backyard of the house. Graveyard, yeah. And then you go inside the house and there's another part of the queue there that is all teaming inside. The station looks really good. And then the whole ride is outside. So when we went on Kings Dominion and Kings Island, the coaster is indoors and it kind of felt like it's better outside.
Yeah, because I felt like with Kings Island, Kings Dominion, the coaster you could see when you're indoors. It wasn't pitch black and it just kind of felt like nothing, whereas this felt like appropriate for being outdoors.
If they did the whole theming indoors with like a lot of poltergeist stuff, could be like amazing. But to be like just in a
warehouse.
Yeah, to be like in a warehouse, it's not worth it. So it's better to be like that.
Gus our spinning pandemonium, which is the only ride that we found that you couldn't take your bag on with.
The coaster itself, just okay.
So the boomerang there, that I randomly found out was my 69th Vekoma. 69 Vekomas.
Yeah, it's just a boomerang clone. It's alright. I like the name.
Yeah, coast to coaster.
Coasters.
I like that.
I think it's clever. I like it.
There was the Batman, the SNS.
Yeah, that was my first SNS that I ever did. Because every time I went somewhere, the SNS 4D free spins were always shut. So that was my first Batman
It's open
SNS.
today.
Yeah, it's open today. That was good.
They let you go on the kiddie credit.
Yeah, that was good. We got the kiddie credit there.
So they have a boardwalk area that I think it looks alright. It kind of feel a little bit abandoned, didn't it?
Yeah, it kind of looked like it needed a bit of TLC.
Yeah.
But it was
It was a cool area. They had a lot of flat rides, like a lot of spinning flat rides, like the drop tower, the Ferris wheel. They had a pirate dark ride.
Yeah.
That was alright. They had the fireball.
the Larson Loop.
I like the concept on the area, but it just felt like kind of a dead end of the park.
The Arrow Mine train was just the standard Arrow Mine train.
Kind of painful to do it because you just see Iron Rattler and you just want the same drop.
They've also got a Batman clone called Goliath, which is strange, but this one came from Six Flags New Orleans and was moved after the flooding there. So that's why they have this. And it felt really rattly. It felt really like it kind of tore itself apart a little bit. Texas has 3 Batman clones. So we rode 3 Batman clones in that
that's
one
right.
state.
Yeah.
And this felt like the roughest of
Yeah,
them all.
it does. You don't know where you're going. You're like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I just heard the noise of just like, but that was interesting. So they got a Zamperla, I think it's a Zamperla Air Flight it's called.
Let's
And
anyway.
it's so well themed with the planes going around. And that's near sort of by
Yes,
Iron Rattler, and you can
Rattler.
see the drop. And the music was really good there.
Yeah, it's better to watch than it is to ride. It's
Yeah.
kind of boring when you ride, but it's really cool.
Especially when you sat by it with a beer.
Yeah.
And a chopsticks.
Yeah. For food, chopsticks is the best. It's the best chopsticks that we ever had. We always get the Chinese food from
Yeah,
the
it's either
park.
chopsticks or Panda
Sorry.
Express. So
Yeah.
we're going chopsticks.
Yeah,
at
Fiesta Texas is the
Citizen.
best one that we had so far.
I just quite liked it because it was quite nice just watching that.
Yeah, it's a cool
Zamperla
area.
so,
That area by this flat ride and Iron Rattler and the mine train, I think it's a better area on the park by teaming.
We also had a pizza one day. It was alright.
Yeah, nothing too special. Just pizza. It's hard to get pizza wrong.
They have a lot of water refill stations throughout the park.
One thing to note, they don't accept a British driving license in Fiesta Texas. They did on day 1. Day 2, they would not serve me.
Yeah, if you want to buy beer, you might want to get your passport if you're outside from the US.
That was really annoying that you can't use a driving license, that's your ID. There was a shopping mall, a load of shopping outlets nearby. So after one day, we got an Uber that took us there and we went and got a few beers and a few drinks. So that was quite good.
Merchandise was okay. Your standard Six Flags merchandise.
Yeah, they have a lot of things on Christmas because we went on Christmas time. They have lockers in the park that you can rent and leave your stuff, but you basically don't need it. You can leave your things on the station in every coaster,
only Pandemonium.
except for Pandemonium, that you need to take your bag with you on the ride. But you don't need a locker. You have the option of go with the bags on the coaster, and it's pretty fine to do that. But if you want to, you have the option of rent a locker.
It was Christmas time when we were there as well. There was a lot of Christmas activities going on. So singing Christmas trees at one point, which was the most famous reindeer of all. Strange. But yeah, overall, I really liked Fiesta Texas. Park was clean. Staff was friendly.
The quarry is so cool.
The quarry's really cool. Absolutely loved it. Really enjoyed it. So that was our first park we visited in Texas.